ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம். In the SrIranga vaibhavam series, we've been going through several important aspects about SrIranga Dividesham. Today, we'll see another important aspect. What are all the uthsavams which are celebrated for perumAL and thAyAr, Sri Ranganatha and Sri Ranganachiyar in this Dividesham? That's what we are going to see today. First of all, we'll see that every month during Ekadashi, during Amavasya and during Revati Tirunakshatram, these days Perumal enjoys Purappadu procession inside the temple and Tirumanjanam. In all these three occasions, Purappadu and Tirumanjanam happens for Perumal. And on Fridays, we have Punugu Kapu. Punugu is a fragrant material which is offered to perumAL and thAyAr. So that will be done on every Friday. So these are standard for every month. And then we have uthsavams, that is annual uthsavams which are celebrated throughout the year. SrIrangam being the foremost of the Divideshams, the calendar is almost filled with festivals throughout the year. Mainly, there are 4 Brahmotsavams. Thai Masam Brahmotsavam is celebrated. It is known as Bhupati Tirunal. Masi Masam Teppotsavam, float festival, is celebrated. Panguni Masam is Adi Brahmotsavam, which was celebrated by Brahma originally. And it is also the Tirukalyana Utsavam, where perumAL enjoys Serti, togetherness with Sri Ranganachiyar. And perumAL enjoys Serti with Urayur Nachiyar. That is Panguni Brahmotsavam. And then finally that is Chitrai Brahmotsavam, which is also known as Viruppan Tirunal. It was organized by Viruppanna Udayar after the period of invasions when SrIrangam was getting back to normalcy. To gather more wealth, Viruppanna Udayar organized this Chaitra Brahmotsavam. So these Brahmotsavams are celebrated. Among these, 3 Brahmotsavams have flag hoisting: Thai, Panguni, Chitrai. All these 3 Utsavams have flag hoisting. And Masi Teppotsavam, float festival, that doesn't have flag hoisting. And in these, Thai Masam and Masi Masam, perumAL enjoys procession in Uttara Tiruvidis. And in Panguni Masam and Chaitra Masam, perumAL enjoys procession in Chitrai Tiruvidis, Chitra streets. In Masi Masa Utsavam, perumAL enjoys Purappadu in the Chitra streets on the last 2 days, on returning from the float festival Mandapam. Also, during the 4 Brahmotsavams, in the first Brahmotsavam, Thai Brahmotsavam, and the third one, Panguni Brahmotsavam, and then Chaitra Brahmotsavam, we have chariot festival. But in Masi Utsavam, there is no chariot festival. One more thing, during Thai Brahmotsavam, perumAL enjoys chariot with Ubaya Nachiyars, Sri Devi and Bhumi Devi Nachiyar. But in Panguni and Chaitra Brahmotsavam, only perumAL enjoys the chariot festival. Also, during Adhyayana Utsavam during Thai Utsavam, Panguni Utsavam and Chaitra Utsavam. Vaiyali Utsavam is celebrated. Vaiyali Utsavam is the horse vahanam, rapid movements of the horse vahanam, which will be celebrated in 4 Utsavams, Adhyena Utsavam during Rapathu, and then in Thai Utsavam, in the Adhyena Utsavam, Vaiyali is celebrated in Ul Manalveli, that is inside sand area. In Thai Utsavam, Vaiyali is celebrated in South Gate near the Thai chariot. In Panguni Utsavam, Vaiyali is celebrated near Panguni chariot, that is Goratham. And during Chitra Brahmotsavam, Vaiyali is celebrated near Chitra chariot, that is in the East Chitra street. So these are some special aspects in these Utsavams. Now we will see in sequence from Chaitra Masam, that is all Tamil Masams. We are going to see in sequence what are all the Utsavams which are being celebrated here. In SrIrangam, most of the Utsavams are celebrated for both perumAL and thAyAr. Whatever Utsavam is celebrated for perumAL, same Utsavam will be celebrated for thAyAr also in many cases, except for Brahmotsavam. So in Chitra Masam, there is Chitra Brahmotsavam. There is procession every day 2 times. perumAL goes to various mandapams during the Brahmotsavam and sometimes stays in that mandapam itself, and he will enjoy Tiruvaradhanam also there, and he will return in the evening. So this happens in many of the days in Chaitra Brahmotsavam. After that, in Chitra Masam, there is Sri Ramanavami. On Shukla Paksha Navami Tithi, Chitra Masam, Sri Ramanavami is celebrated. On that day, Serti Utsavam, togetherness with Serakulavalli Nachiyar, is celebrated. 3 times Serti happens for perumAL with Nachiyars. During Sri Ramanavami, Serti Utsavam with Serakulavalli Nachiyar. During Panguni Brahmotsavam, there is Serti Utsavam with Sri Ranganachiyar on the Panguni Uttram day, and Kamalavalli Nachiyar in Tiruvurayur Dividesham as part of the 6th day Utsavam in Panguni Brahmotsavam. So 3 Serti Utsavam happens for Namberumal Sri Ranganatha, Sri Ramanavami Serakulavalli Nachiyar, Panguni Brahmotsavam 6th day Kamalavalli Nachiyar in Tiruvurayur, and Panguni Uttram day Sri Ranganachiyar inside the thAyAr Sannidhi, Panguni Uttara Mandapam. Also, during Brahmotsavams, whenever there is elephant Vahanam, Gaja Vahanam, at that time there will be garland exchange with Andal Nachiyar, Goda Nachiyar in Ul Andal Sannidhi. Inside the temple there is Andal Sannidhi. There garland exchange will happen. 2 times when perumAL goes out, for example, as part of returning from Urayur Dividesham, and another occasion, perumAL enjoys garland exchange with Veli Andal Sannidhi outside the temple. So these are all special events which happen during the Utsavams. This garland exchange is only with Andal Nachiyar. No other Nachiyar gets that. But Serti happens with other Nachiyars. Serakulavalli Nachiyar, Urayur Nachiyar, and SrIranga Nachiyar. So Sri Ramanavami is celebrated in Chitra Masam. And then there is Summer Utsavam, Poochatra Utsavam. This is known as Veli Kodai and Ul Kodai. 5 days Veli Kodai, 5 days Ul Kodai. That is Kodai Utsavam outside and Kodai Utsavam inside. During the start of the Kodai Utsavam, Summer Utsavam, perumAL's Garbhagraham, the walls around it will be filled with water by the servitors. This happens on the first day. This starts on the first day of the Kodai Utsavam, summer Utsavam, and then it goes on for one mandalam, 48 days, like that. But 10 days Kodai Utsavam will be celebrated for perumAL. During this occasion, perumAL comes to Manalveli, the sand area inside the temple, and there perumAL gets decorated with many flowers. Usually perumAL gets flowers from the temple garden only, but during this Kodai Utsavam, perumAL accepts flowers from all the Bhagavatas, all the devotees, all the public, and he wears them. So that is Kodai Utsavam, 10 days for perumAL. Similarly, for thAyAr also separately, Kodai Utsavam happens for 10 days. And then there is Chitra Purnami Utsavam in Chaitra Masam. This is Gajendra Moksham Utsavam. perumAL, Namperumal goes to Amma Mandapam, that is South Kaveri. And Gajendra Moksham Utsavam is celebrated there. So all of this happens in Chitra Masam. And then Vaikasi Masam, Vasantotsavam happens for 9 days for perumAL, and then 7 days for thAyAr. So for perumAL, 9 days Utsavam happens in Vasanta Mandapam near Chakratalvar Sannidhi. perumAL goes there, Tiruvardhanam happens there, and then Tirtha Goshti happens there, and perumAL returns to Asthanam. That is Vasantotsavam. It is also known as Eka Vasantam. So 9 days of Vasantotsavam for perumAL, and then 7 days for SrIranga Nachiyar. This is in Vaikasi Masam. And then after that, Ani Masam, Jyeshtabhishekam will happen for perumAL and thAyAr and Kataliga Shingar and so on. So this is Jyeshtabhishekam, when perumAL's armor, Kavacham, will be removed and full divine form will be bathed for perumAL. That is Jyeshtabhishekam. The next day of Jyeshtabhishekam is Tirupavadai Utsavam. Lot of bhogam will be offered to perumAL on that day. All of this happens in Ani Masam. And then Adi Masam, Adi Perukku, that is 18th day or 28th day of Adi Masam, perumAL will go to South Kaveri, Amma Mandapam, and Kaveri Mother Kaveri will be honored there at that time. That is Adi Perukku. And then Amani Masam, Sri Jayanti Utsavam will be celebrated. perumAL will come to Sri Jayanti Mandapam along with Krishna. And then the next day, Uriyadi will happen. Around the same time, in Parthasarathi perumAL Sannidhi, Krishna is there. For him also 3 days Utsavam will be celebrated. And in Vittal Krishna Sannidhi, 1 day Utsavam will be celebrated for Sri Jayanti. This is in Avani Masam. After that, in Puratasi Masam, Kanni Masam, there will be Pavitrodsavam for 9 days. It will be celebrated in Pavitrodsavam Mandapam. After that, Navaratri celebrations will be done for thAyAr. 9 days of Purapadu will be there for thAyAr. Procession will be there. And on the 10th day, Vijayadasami will be celebrated. perumAL will go for hunting. That will be happening on Vijayadashami day. After that, Aipasi Masam, Tula Kaveri is celebrated. Every day, water will be brought from South Kaveri, from Ammambadapam, on the elephant in a golden pot, and that will be used for Tiruvaradhanam for perumAL. That is Tula Kaveri, Aipasi Masam. And then in Aipasi Masam, Unjal Utsavam, Dolotsavam will be celebrated. 9 days for perumAL, 7 days for thAyAr. That will be happening in Unjal Mandapam, Dolotsava Mandapam. After that, Deepavali is celebrated. During Deepavali, all the Alvars Acharyas will come to perumAL Sannidhi. They will remain in Kili Mandapam, and then they will be honored by perumAL. That happens on Deepavali day. After that, Kaishika Ekadashi in Kartikeya Masam, Kaishika Ekadashi will be celebrated. Kaishika Ekadashi and Kaishika Dwadashi. On the night of Kaishika Ekadashi, Kaishika Puranam will be recited and Brahmaratham will be done for Parashara Bhattar on Kaishika Dwadashi. Parashara Bhattar and Vedavyasa Bhattar, they will be getting the Brahmaratham honors. That will be Kaishika Ekadashi and Dwadashi. After that, Kartigai Deepotsavam will be celebrated in Kartigai month. That time also, oil will be sent from perumAL to all the Alvars and Acharyas. That is Kartigai Deepotsavam. And after that, during Margani Masam, that is Dhanurmasam celebration will happen early in the morning. Tirupalli Ezhuchi, Tirupavai will be recited by Ariyar Swami, and Dhanurmasam celebrations will happen. And in the meantime, Adhyayana Utsavam will start. For 22 days, Adhyayana Utsavam will be celebrated here. First day will be Tirunadandagam, and then 10 days Pagalpattu, and then 10 days Rapattu, starting with Vaikunta Ekadashi, and finally Iyarpa will be recited for 1 day. So this will be 22 days for Adhyayana Utsavam for perumAL. After that, 11 days of Adhyayana Utsavam will be celebrated for thAyAr. So this is during Margadi Masam and Thai Masam. After that, Thai Masam beginning, Sankaranti will be celebrated. perumAL will go to Sankaranti Mandapam, and Tirupavai Satrumare will be completed there. And the next day, Kanu Parvettai will be celebrated. And after that, Thai Utsavam, Bhupati Tirunal will be celebrated. And this will be proper Brahmotsavam, where perumAL will have procession during morning and evening every day. And all the different Vahanams will be celebrated, and chariot festival will be celebrated with flag hoisting. And then Masi Teposavam will be celebrated. Masi Teposavam is the float festival. On the last 2 days, perumAL will go to float festival Mandapam, and the 8th day, perumAL will enjoy float in the Pushkarini, and 9th day, perumAL will enjoy Tirumanjanam there and will return to Sannidhi. That is Masi Utsavam, Teposavam, float festival. After that, Panguni Brahmotsavam, Adi Brahmotsavam, celebrated by Brahma, is continuously celebrated every year. During this Utsavam, perumAL will go to many mandapams and will stay there throughout the day sometimes. He goes to Jiyarpuram to honor an old lady, and then he goes to Tirurayur Dividesham to have Serthi Utsavam with Kamalavalli Nachiyar. And finally, on the final day, Panguni Uttaram day, perumAL will enjoy Serthi with SrIranga Nachiyar. In the morning, there will be Matayadi, Pranaya Kalakam Utsavam. After that, Serthi will happen. And throughout the night, there will be Tirumanjanam. Before that, there will be Gajitarayam Goshti. And after that, Tirumanjanam. And after that, in the morning, perumAL will take leave and climb on the Goratham and enjoy Rathotsavam. And then Tirthavari will happen. Tirthavari will happen before, during the Serthi of perumAL and Nachiyar. So this is Panguni Brahmotsavam. After that, finally there is Ugadi. Ugadi is the festival which is celebrated here in SrIrangam for 1 day. Alvars Acharyas again will come to Kili Mandapam and they will be honored by perumAL on that particular day. So these are the various Utsavams which happen in SrIrangam. We have just seen perumAL Utsavam and Nachiyar Utsavam. We also have Katadage singer Narasimha Jayanti Utsavam during final day of Ekavasantam and Jeshtabhishekam there. So few other Utsavams also happen, like we saw Sri Ramanavami, Sri Jayanti. But in general, for Nambermal and Nachiyar, many of these Utsavams happen throughout the year, and we have seen a little bit about all of those Utsavams.
ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download KOYIL, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.